Alright, welcome back to this Expedition STEM. I am Andrew. I am here with Joe of Robo Dojo, and we are here at your place to do what?
We are unboxing a 50-watt laser cutter.
50-watt laser cutter. What's a laser cutter?
It's awesome.
It's awesome. Alright, cool. Well, we got this big box right here, so yeah, we're gonna take it out of its packaging and go over all the different components and set it up, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get started.
All right. I got one for you too.
Nope. I'm still working on my first one, and he's working on his like 10th because he's got the power. Gonna do it like you're doing Play-Doh.
Ah, that one was hot.
Yes.
Oh man.
So Joe was able to get all of them in just about the same time I was able to get one.
All right, ready?
All right, here we go.
Yay! Lots of the cheapest foam they could buy. Now, in order to get these off of here, we're gonna have to take off the sides too. I'd like to say thank you to my wife for not being overly angry that I spent a bunch of money. Good time to start taking off the sides.
Yeah, sure. Wow. Oh man.
You know, this thing has been in this crate since it left China, like probably a year ago. Because they ship them from China to a holding space here in the States until they sell.
Right.
You know, which is a lot better than it was a couple of years ago. Because a couple of years ago, you had to buy these from China and then do customs and.
All right, so I got my trusty little tool here.
Yeah.
Joe's got his drill. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have to take up the whole side?
Yeah.
So we got about maybe 10. So we'll see if I can get one before Joe gets all the rest. Ready, go. Yes. Man, sweet. Don't get a head start. All right, ready, go. Yes. You forgot one. We're about to tear this thing off.
Awesome.
All right, so we got all the sides off. I got the laser cutter exposed now. So what brand of laser cutter is this?
Well, these are actually just pretty much called generic Chinese.
These are called generic. That's a brand name?
No,
Okay.
I mean, it's a brand unto itself. It's the Chinese laser cutter. You know?
It's called the Chinese laser cutter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's several of them. They're all made by different companies, but they're all basically identical.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what brand it is.
Okay.
It's they look a little bit different.
Yeah.
But they're all the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing next?
What I'd like to do is take this stuff off, obviously, and open her up, and there should be a bunch of goodies inside.
Okay.
A bunch of accessories.
All right.
And probably set those off on the table.
Okay.
Do a quick inventory.
Cool. I don't work for free. This is gonna cost you some pizza.
Oh, this is actually good. This is the key that you use to measure the distance between the cutting surface and the laser.
Okay, when you start?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're calibrating.
So don't lose that.
Yeah, don't lose that.
But if you do, you can 3D print another one or something, right?
Yeah. Can I do it?
Wow.
Alright.
So there's the inside. So what do we got there?
I knew that would be off.
It's like a fluorescent light that's
Yeah.
a little bit off of the fixture.
Hey, completely to be expected.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been
Yeah, this thing got shipped from China.
around
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
bouncing on waves,
Yeah.
bouncing on trucks.
Alright, so we got something heavy wrapped in bubble wrap. What do you think that is?
Oh, I know exactly what that is.
What is
That's the rotary device, so you can, cut or engrave cylindrical objects.
Alright, we'll take a look at that later.
Yeah. Alright. There's gonna be a bunch more stuff under here. Come on. Alright. We'll go in the other way. Yeah. There we go.
I lifted a little bit up on
Okay.
this ledge right here.
Yeah.
So if you're doing this sort of thing, I just put a hand right here and just kind of pull it up.
Yeah.
Let it bow a little bit. There's these little catches. It seems like that's part of the problem right there. But
This,
so what do we got? What's this thing?
this is duct to vent out your exhaust. Obviously, we're going to switch that out with something better.
Okay.
That stuff.
No.
Yeah, it'll work for testing. That's about it.
All right.
Then we've got the box of goodies.
All right, we'll open that later. All right, Joe. So we just unpacked it. We got the laser cutter here, not branded, right?
Yeah. Really.
So we got some.
Have you seen a brand on here?
No, we haven't seen any.
Yeah.
And funny thing, did this come with a manual?
No.
Yeah. No manual for this laser cutter. I guess you don't need one.
Yeah.
But we do have a set of like warnings
Yeah.
on the front, and
They're helpfully in English.
yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at some of the components on the actual machine, and then we'll unbox the little boxes later, right, that we pulled out. So what do you want to get started on first?
I want to get started on the laser tube.
On the laser tube?
Yep.
All right, so...
Just a short disclaimer, though, to my wife. I know we've spent some money on this, but if this tube is broken, we're going to have to spend some more money. And probably more than it costs, because I'm going to upgrade it to a 60 watt.
Yeah. For those of you that have ever seen the show Home Improvement, this is Tim Allen right here. Joe the rowboat.
Dojo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is a laser tube for those people who don't know? I don't know what a laser tube is.
Okay. Well, basically, it's 3 layers of glass. On the inner layer, got some chemicals, CO2, some other stuff. High voltage electrode. Between the inner and the middle layer, you've got water going through, keeping it cool.
Okay.
And basically, it spits out your...
So is that where the laser is generated from?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so...
It's an infrared laser.
Infrared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you can't see it, but it cuts.
That's right. Just like body heat. Body heat is infrared radiation. Alrighty, so we're opening up this puppy right here.
The laser tube should not be actually connected. It should be wrapped nicely. It should be in pristine condition with special spacers that keep it, from tumbling around.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we really get.
All right. No protection whatsoever. All right, so this is our laser tube.
Wow. It does not appear to be broken.
So this is the part that Joe was talking about that he was hoping wasn't broken, but
actually, I'm highly annoyed that it's not broken.
Why is that?
Because I wanted to upgrade it.
But I think your wife will...
yeah, my wife is, she needs to thank Tang, who is in charge of packing.
Alright, so I'm guessing that plastic stuff is the water tube, right?
Hmm? This?
The plastic?
Oh, this, yeah, that's the water input and output. I just think that's awesome.
So what is that, the coil for?
It's just,
For the water?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it looks like the water comes in there
Yeah.
and then kind of... Circulation right there. That goes all the way down.
Yeah. From what I've seen on some of the videos, it looks like the water actually just flushes through the entire thing, you know? But this is kind of where a source of heat is, so.
All right, so that was one part of the back. What else? What else do we have on the back here? I see another panel down here and some little sockets.
Yep. Just a second.
So these latches, this is definitely one part where it looks like the company saved money.
Oh yeah, they save some money.
Yeah. They're not super high quality. They get the job done, it looks like, but they're kind of fidgety. You gotta kind of get everything perfectly lined up.
If you look up, there we go. That's the problem.
Oh, that one fell off.
Yeah. But that's perfectly fine.
All right. So what's this thing here? I see a fan.
Yeah, this is the exhaust fan that all the noxious fumes come out of.
All right. So fan. And what are these things down here?
This is for your water inlet and outlet.
Okay.
And this is the air inlet. And that air inlet goes through and it comes out of the head with the laser.
So it's like blowing the dirt out of the way.
Yeah, blowing the dirt out of the way, blowing keeping the smoke off the laser.
Okay.
That way, you know, because you don't want the smoke to obscure the mirrors.
Mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's open up this guy.
All right.
Yeah, a little fidgety. Yep.
Alrighty.
All right, so here we see the back of the fan. Right.
Looks like that fan does have a motor.
We got the tubes coming in for the water.
Yeah. And one of the really cool aspects of this is I did not pay for an automatic bed raising and lowering system. But
So can you explain what that is?
basically, you know, you're not always going to be engraving or cutting the same thickness of material. And you want your material, the surface that's being cut or engraved, to be a specific distance from the laser head. And you know, so you have to be able to raise and lower the bed that your material is on. And this one, I get to just press a button.
So how did you know it was an automatic versus a manual?
Because it's got this motor here and it's got the belts all hooked up to they've got these spindles here that you know, they just basically turn up the bed.
Yeah, so if you got one of those motors and those belts and things like that, you got one that's an automatic and not manual lowering, right?
Pretty much.
All right, so we got one last panel over here.
Yep.
And open it up. What do we got in there?
All right, we've got the power supply that goes to the laser. This has two separate power supplies, one for motors and other electronics and one for the laser.
All right, so now we're looking at the right side of the machine, and what are the different buttons and switches we got over here?
All right, well, the first two up here that you see, these were clearly not in the images that I saw when I purchased it, but this is the lifting platform and lowering platform switch.
Okay, so that's for
Very
the
nice.
automatic.
Yep, that's for
Awesome. So
Very
that's
awesome.
another way to know if you got an automatic
Yep.
one or not, is you got those buttons right there.
Yep. These two USB outlets, one of them, I don't know which one, we'll have to figure that out, but one of them is to hook it up to a computer, and one of them is to accept a program straight from a USB drive.
Cool.
And of course we've got that, but I'm not guaranteeing that that'll work.
What is that?
That's for a network connection.
Okay, so it's an Ethernet
Yeah.
RJ45
Yep.
connector.
The control switch. We've got the laser switch. This turns the laser on and off.
Okay.
We've got the air pump switch, and that turns the air pump off and on. You've got your air pump and your water pump plug-ins right here, okay? So, you know, obviously these are connected to these. However, if you don't have this thing grounded properly, you probably don't want to use these. You probably want to set something else up. So ground it. You know, obviously we've got our 110 plug, which I'm very happy to see because I don't have 220. And the fuse, and of course the grounding hook. This one worked. Awesome. We've got our power supplies.
Where's the power supply?
We've got this one that we saw from the other side over here.
Okay.
Then we've got another power supply down here.
All right.
Basically all of the electrical.
Well, we see some
dip
dip switches.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So that's probably like a control board or
yeah,
something.
those are control boards, and
this looks like a power distribution box.
Power distribution box, but I mean, I don't know what's inside them though.
We see the Ethernet cable. And it's literally a Ethernet cable. It's not like a built-in.
Yeah, it's
thing.
kind of funny.
And 2 USB cables.
But that means you can switch it out.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like some sort of network interface / power distribution box because we got power coming from them.
But this is definitely an upgraded version from what I bought.
Awesome. And what's that little silver box down there? That looks. Well,
this one right here?
Yeah. Some sort of AC filter?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. You gotta remember this has been bouncing around for a year, probably. You know, it bounced around at a port in China, it bounced around on the ocean. I'm pretty sure the FedEx guy kicked it a couple of times, you know. There's gonna be loose stuff, so everything has to be gone over with a fine-tooth comb before we can even think about turning it on.
Alright, so that's it for the right-hand side. Let's take a look at the left-hand side. Let me get this in focus here so we can see everything that's going on the left-hand side. So, Joe.
Yes?
Can you tell me what's going on the left-hand side of this laser cutter?
The left hand is pretty clean, actually.
Yep.
Very
Absolutely
clean.
nothing over there.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're going to take a look at the front. Alright, so now we got the front, so you want to start with this bottom piece?
Absolutely.
Alright, so got some more of these cool latches, and these are the ones that were giving us a problem earlier.
Let me go on the other side. This stuff will all work eventually. Ha! There we go. And there we go.
Alright, so a whole lot of nothing.
Yep.
Right?
Well, you can see the belts.
Yeah, so...
And you can see how, see a little bit better on how this platform raises and lowers.
Yeah, so it's basically the same sort of deal.
Now one thing that you can see though is you've got a lot of this stuff. Can you pick that up?
Yeah.
Yeah. All that has to be cleaned up before we can.
What is that?
This is just packing material. It's the
styrofoam.
The styrofoam. It's the cheapest kind of styrofoam you can get. The annoying kind that sticks to everything.
Yeah, so we should probably get like a dust buster.
Oh yeah.
Air cleaner or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because it's stuck to the sides. It's stuck to the roof of this thing too. Even. Yeah, it's all over.
All right, so this is a lower look at the inside underneath, so we can see these belts here and the gear worms that they're on. So those are used for the automatic mode. There's the motor back there, and as you can see, there's that sort of loose packing material styrofoam that you'll have to sort of clean out before you can use it.
Another thing you have to do though, I don't know if you can focus on this, but there's a grime, there's like a greasy grime in there. All of that needs to come out.
Alright. And let's see if we can get a little closer inside and see. Alright, so if you look up, there's basically like a metal wall separating it from the top. So that's what it looks like underneath. Alright, now we're going to check out the underside. So FYI, we put these on sawhorses, and we put some foam down in between the machine and the sawhorses because you can see there's these little screws or bolts. Alright, so yeah, there's these like screws that kind of protrude out. So they were kind of digging in the sawhorse, so we used the styrofoam that was in the pack to sort of provide a little bit of a barrier, soft barrier between those. So This is just the underside. It's got some bolts and some screws and stuff. You got your little feet here where it's going to be sitting on the table, so you won't have to actually worry about those bolts and everything when it's actually on the table. But that's what the underside looks like. Alright, so now we got the top to look over. So first let's check out this control pad. Alright, so what do we got over here, Joe?
Alright, basically we've got probably the most important aspect of this, the emergency stop.
Yeah, big red button.
Yeah. Now, one of the things, I'm going to test out some YouTube knowledge here. It's already in the down stop position. In order to turn it on, you actually have to turn this in one of its...
Looks like it's loose.
Yeah, see? This is what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, so there's probably like a plastic thing underneath. Like
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But a lot of people get these things, and obviously I'm not talking from my own experience. I just got one, but watching enough YouTube videos, you know, people get these things and they don't realize that it's in the downward position already, and they're going, "Why won't it work? Everything's supposed to work."
So this is a quick fix.
There we go.
Fix it right now,
We just fixed it.
or not yet.
Well, yeah. Still have to go through it though, because we want to make sure all those connections are all good and solid.
Alright, so if you had that emergency stop issue, there is the emergency stop, and basically there's a plastic washer kind of all the way, or a plastic nut right up at the top. So if you just kind of hold that down and twist it. Alright, so that's how you fix the emergency stop. So now you just turn it a little bit clockwise and it should pop up, right? And then to stop it, just push it down like that.
Here's the panel that we used. You can move the head with this. Obviously the reset, pulse, speed, min power, min max, max power. You actually use the min power and the max power to when you're going around corners, okay? Because it slows down ever so slightly when you're going around a corner, and you want to back off on the power a little bit as you're going around a corner, and then pick it back up.
So do you have to do that manually?
No, you can program it.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
file.
So that's probably
Yeah.
when you're dealing with like the USB or something.
Yeah. Is that origin?
Yeah, origin, like an XY.
Yeah, you're
graph.
absolutely right.
And then we got to escape, enter, frame, and start
Yes.
/ pause. And there's also this QR code down here, and I think Joe wants to see where that goes.
I really do.
So go ahead and scan it. Let's see where it goes.
Are you getting that? Ah.
Alright, so what's that say?
It's in Chinese.
Looks like
Division with laser equipment.
Yeah, so
Fax.
it's
A bunch of contact information.
yeah, it's got their website.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's probably the manufacturer, right?
Yeah.
Liu
Yeah.
Cheng Dong Chengfu. My Chinese isn't
yeah.
really good, but
I can read laser.
yeah. There's their website, lcjbdz.com,
Yeah.
and their email doesn't look like a real email because it says @com.
Yeah.
But they got their
weird.
international phone number and international fax number.
Yeah.
You want to see if you can go to the website?
That's what we're doing right now. See here.
That's the website if you want to go to it. If you know Chinese, or if you got Google Chrome, you might be able to translate it.
And apparently they like to use a lot of Flash in their website.
But yeah, so check out their website. Alright, so at the top we can see that this is obviously a laser cutter because it says caution, class 4 laser. It says visible and invisible laser radiation. Avoid eye and skin exposure. Wear protective eyewear. And Joe was a little curious. He wanted to know what a class 4 laser exactly was, so we kind of looked it up. So here's sort of the definition right here, and it basically says that class 4 lasers are hazardous for skin and eye exposure, and it says that There is no upper limit for the wattage for a class 4 laser. This is the most hazardous laser classification. So, yeah. That means this is cool, right?
That means this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this can hurt you. So definitely.
That's the reason why we're going to have this in its own room.
Yeah.
Where kids, while they're at the makerspace, can be elsewhere and safe.
Yep. All right, then we got another warning sort of sticker up here. It says attention. I'm not going to read all of these. They basically say that, they talk about the wattages and wear eye protection and skin protection and, what you should and shouldn't do, that sort of thing. So, yeah. All right, next, I think we're going to open this bad boy right here. So there should be glass right there, but it's got this little protective cover on it. That's the acrylic. All right, so now it's time to open up the top. So let's go ahead and open that bad boy.
Alrighty. Nice little right here. Just tucks away so you're not jamming yourself in the hip. And there we go. Now, one of the first things I notice, okay, is this grease on here. This needs to be cleaned off. Not entirely because you want it to have some grease, but there's too much. And then obviously this this laser head right here is at an inappropriate angle. So that's going to need to be
What do you mean an inappropriate angle?
well, it's supposed to be straight up and down.
Oh yeah, so we can see it's
Yeah.
on a little bit of an angle.
Well, it's not an angle that way, but it's also at an angle that way, if you notice.
Yeah.
And then the this is very common. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do one of these where they said that this was up there and connected properly. But that's fine because I'm probably going to switch this out and put in some nice LEDs.
What is that?
It's just a light.
Fluorescent tube.
Well, yeah, it's a fluorescent tube. But I'm going to, we'll take that out entirely. Put in some LEDs.
Cool.
Nice LED strip. Now obviously I wouldn't have my hand in here if the machine was turned on. But the laser comes through that tube. There's a mirror back there. And it reflects into this mirror. Into here. There's another mirror right here. And then there's a lens in here that narrows it down further.
What are these black sort of tread things?
These are basically protecting the wiring harnesses for the motors. Now I might be entirely wrong, but it looks to me like we have. Now obviously there's a the air. This is an air hose, okay. But I think this right here goes to
what are you talking about?
This cable right here.
Okay.
Looks to me like it goes to a laser dot pointer. That's going to be it's probably going to be the third upgrade I'm going to do on this thing. I'm going to get rid of that laser entirely. Because you can place your laser dot back further and have it go down the same line that your main laser goes on, and you can have it come out right on where you want it.
All right. So what's this thing right here?
It's right here.
Yeah.
I believe that's the X-axis track. There's two of them, one on either side.
Okay, so we got one there, and then we also got one over here. That's where all that buildup of the grease is.
Oh yeah.
Might wipe a little bit of that off.
Quite a bit actually.
All right, and then we got the wiring harness over there, and then
these mirrors here, these adjustable screws. That's how you position your mirror properly. You have to move those to calibrate them.
okay. So we got the mirror system, laser, and then is that our y-axis right
Yep.
over here?
I'm right with that, right? X, Y, yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter, does it?
I don't know what this machine calls it.
Yeah, yeah, but
And we got our wiring harness.
yeah, got a belt, obviously.
Yep. Well, we don't know what that red thing is, but it might be some sort of relay. And then we got looks like like a power cable here.
Yeah.
What do you think that goes to? Is that good to drive this thing? So that's the inside. All right, what about this bed? Is this the actual bed you'd be placing stuff on?
No, not at all. Because basically, if you put something on here, what's going to happen is your laser is going to bounce back and it's going to burn the back side of your whatever it is that you're trying to cut or engrave. And so what you really want to put on here is they call it like a honeycomb bed. That's you know, so that you have very small amounts of surface area actually touching what it is that you're cutting.
Okay.
Although I've seen people, I saw one guy, smart guy. He took a piece of the packing crate, and his packing crate was nails, not screws. And he took the nails, and he straightened them out, banged them through one side, and used that as a surface to put his stuff on, and it worked perfectly fine. Yeah, but yeah, probably most likely be getting a piece of honeycomb to put in there.
And where can you pick up that?
eBay.
And are they specific for laser cutters, or are they meant for something else that are just also useful for this? Or
Google laser cutter honeycomb bed.
okay.
They're, you know, I've seen them pretty cheap. You know, $35 to $50.
Okay. What about the area of this bed? Is it like a certain dimension that's like usable?
Yes, the usable dimensions is 300 millimeters by 500 millimeters. So a foot by a foot and 3/4.
Okay. So,
or sorry, a foot and 2/3.
All right. So that's basically the whole laser cutter right there. So right now we are going to take a look at the other contents that came in the box, and so let's go ahead and get those out.
All right. So it looks like a carry case of some kind. And here we have, oh, a user manual.
It's a manual.
Yes, laser engraving machine and cutting machine installation. We've also got a CD. Looks like this has got videos on it. Nothing else in there. We've also got a USB cord, Ethernet wire. Very cool. A good long length of it. All right, we've got more hose. This looks like it's for the water. This is water. The water pump. Very cool.
Okay. All right, so this is the water pump, right?
Yep, this water pump. When I've heard, this is a perfectly serviceable pump. It's pretty heavy.
All right, so there's our air pump.
Yep.
The Uting model ACO003.
And you can tell that it's meant for an aquarium. This is one of those items that a lot of people that I've seen doing these videos say they get rid of it, or at least they want to. But it's, yeah, see, look at that. It's for an aquarium. So we've got a section of hose. Looks like this fitting is going to go in this section of hose. Looks like some kind of inspection tag. They're loud. I'm going to definitely, you know, even though they've got these nice soft plastic feet, supposed to cut down on the vibrations. So this fitting is going to go in here. Yeah, that fitting goes in there. Another fitting goes in here.
So that's the air pump.
Yep, that's the air pump. And it's actually pretty substantial. This is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. Next, single-sided tape. What else we have? Silicone adhesive sealant. Power cord. What else do we have? Grounding straps. Alright, so we've got a clamp. And this clamp right here is going to be going on the back where the exhaust goes. Oh, cool tools. Got a nice screwdriver. DC 55 or 35 millimeter, I don't know. But feel that screwdriver. Check that out. That is a heavy duty screwdriver. This is This is a nicer screwdriver than my screwdrivers. Yeah, we've got 10-piece Allen wrenches. Yeah, they're just your average Allen wrenches.
All right, so that's it for that box. We got one more thing to unpack, right? All right, so this is our rotary device.
We've got a stepper motor, and it's a little bit bigger than what I thought it was going to be, but it's nice and sturdy. You can see the belts there on that end, and basically this is designed so that you can have something of a narrower diameter or something of a larger diameter. Spins your object there.
Alright, so what we think that plugs into is, well, it would probably lay on the bed or something, and
Yeah.
so most likely it would go in like that because you got the cord on that side, which could plug into.
Yeah. And this. Then.
So yeah, so that would be either the X or the Y axis, whichever one that gets unplugged, and
Yeah.
instead it would do the rotary.
Yeah. See if we can line this up. There's a flat side there, but there we go. Plug her in.
So I'm curious. So right now, if I do this, it moves, right?
Yeah.
Which would totally throw off
completely.
Right. So
That would completely.
I wonder if there's like some sort of like clamp or
Yeah.
like some sort of block or something. that you're
Honestly,
supposed to-
I think something. If I even use this,
Yeah.
okay, because I'm honestly I'm not too. I didn't buy this to
engrave your Mountain Dew cans.
Yeah, and degrade my Mountain Dew cans. If I find a purpose, if I find a reason to use this, then I'll probably have it so that I take out the honeycomb, okay,
Yeah.
and have some retaining bolts there that I can that aren't there at the time, but I can plug them in, and just kind of clamp it down. That's too easy, but
Yeah. So if you got one of these, you probably definitely want to find a way to clamp it down.
Yeah.
Because it can totally shift and
yeah.
throw off your axis. All right. So we got one last part of this machine.
Basically, what this is, and what we're completely guessing here, but we've got a pretty good reason. Yeah, it looks like that takes an Allen key. That's probably why they give you Allen keys. But you turn this, and it adjusts the tension on the belt. If I can, yeah, there's a belt back there. It's kind of loose right now, and if memory serves me right on anything else I've done that was CNC. Loose belts aren't very good, so we're probably going to have to tighten that up. And there's another one on the other side here. Put it back in.
All right. So Joe, I think we looked at almost every part of this machine, right?
Every part that we know to look at right now.
Yeah. So we took a look at the top of this machine. We got the control panel up here with the warning stickers. Left side's got nothing on it. The back side, on the top, we got the laser tube, right?
Yep.
Underneath, we got the fan and the access to the
Power control.
power control
Yep.
back there as well.
The air and
That's right. We got
The
the inlets for the
water
water.
inlets.
Yep. On the right-hand side, we had all the switches for the control and
Yep.
the pumps and the plugs over there.
Yep.
USB
Then
network.
access to all the good guts inside.
Yep.
The electronics and all that stuff that I'm gonna get to go through and map out and see what's what and what's supposed to be what.
And then on the bottom, we had the access to the automatic lifting thing, and then we had the tension.
Yeah, the tensioners for adjusting the belts that go in that direction. X or Y.
Well, if we were looking at this
Yeah.
as a X and Y graph in math class,
Yeah,
this would be the Y direction.
yeah,
Going up and down, this would be your X direction.
yeah.
But who knows if that's
I
what this laser
understand
cutter
that,
uses?
But there, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this isn't the first. This is the first laser cutter, but it's not the first machine I've used, and people don't always agree on what the X and Y is, and so we'll have to get into the software and find out.
It's all relative. They're 90
Yeah.
degrees to each other,
Yeah.
so as long as they're that, then,
Yeah.
Then,
Or
or you can just
you
rotate
want.
your machine 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it came with a couple boxes inside. So far, we haven't found anything that's broken necessarily. We
Yeah.
found some stuff that was loose.
We haven't tested much either.
Right, we have not plugged this in. We'll be probably doing that in a later video because, like Joe said, he wants to make sure all the wiring is good to go before you turn on your expensive machine. Can you tell everybody how much this machine cost?
It was right about $1,400.
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
That's pretty good.
In fact,
Did that include shipping?
That included shipping.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And the shipping took 3 days.
3 days, ladies and gentlemen.
From California.
From California.
Yep.
And it came here on a FedEx truck, right?
Yes, it did.
FedEx Freight. So
yep, big 48-foot FedEx freight truck.
yeah, so you saw the box that this thing came in. You had to measure it to it fit in a normal doorway, right?
Yes.
Barely.
I had a 1/4 inch on either side. Like literally, because I remember I measured the door, and then I went out and measured the outside door, and then I measured the doors to the elevator, and then I went and measured this, and I forgot what the measurement to the door up here was. So I said, "We're gonna try this out," you know.
Do you remember exactly what that measurement was for your door? Or what this was?
It was I think it was 33. This was 33 or 34 inches.
Okay, so give yourself around 3
yeah,
feet of clearance.
Yeah, 3 feet of clearance would be very good.
So $1,400, that's not bad
No.
for being shipped. You know, remember this thing came from China, so to get it over here probably cost at least $50 to $100 in shipping.
Oh, easily
for those guys.
Yeah.
Same from probably California.
Yeah.
So, you know, you knock shipping off, it's probably $1,200 for the actual
Yeah.
machine.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the things that we found that were loose was the emergency stop. That was sort of an easy fix. Just going inside and doing a hand tighten.
But we still need to inspect that though, because there's important wires in there that need to make sure that they're connected properly.
All right, and then on the inside, the fluorescent light bracket was, we don't know if it was broken.
Yeah.
But it was definitely off of where it's supposed to be, as you guys said.
And honestly, I've never seen a fluorescent tube of that particular shape and that particular diameter and length. And it's probably going to get rid of a whole lot of headaches just to put in some LED lighting.
Okay. And let's see, what else was loose? The belts, we think, for the X or Y axis, they looked a little loose. That's why we pointed out those tension screws, so probably have to tighten that.
Yeah. Every single clip here.
Yeah, the latches. Yeah, they're really cheaply made.
And they're all loose. Overall, I'm exceedingly happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some medium density foam strips in all these openings.
All right, so let's talk about some of the things that you want to be doing with this laser cutter, because people watching this video might not know exactly what a laser cutter is used for. So let's first talk about what do you want to do with this thing? What can it do? What materials can it cut?
Okay.
And so we've already seen that you can do sort of like a flat piece or a rotary, something that's round. But when Joe first told me about laser cutter, I kind of had an idea what it was. I thought it was just something that you would basically cut out shapes with, but I didn't know it could do some of this cool stuff.
Yeah, it can actually you can actually create reliefs.
Yeah.
You can do 3-dimensional laser carving.
That's awesome. So not only can you just go directly through a material, but you can go through not all the way.
Yeah.
So you can create these
and you can decide
surfaces.
how far through you want to go through. And then obviously you can engrave. Now it won't do metal. It's not going to engrave metal. It's not going to cut metal. In fact, if you try to do metal, you probably hurt yourself, because the more reflective.
Yeah, it would be reflecting the laser up onto the ceiling or something.
Yeah.
Ow,
my eye!
Yeah.
We're actually going to get a sign. Some of this is, at least I have one eye left. I don't know. But
you know, one thing I'm curious about is I wonder if this acrylic is clear,
yeah,
or if it's like a little tinted for like laser. Like,
yeah.
Should we check it out?
We should absolutely check it out. Better now.
It looks clear from that side.
Yeah, that's pretty effective. If there's any chance that any kind of laser light could get through that glass, I definitely, you know, if it were in my own shop at home, you know, I wouldn't care because, you know, I'll wear the glasses. But, you know, we've got, you know, little kids coming here sometimes. Some adults are little kids. You know, you got to be safe. You know, that's not the only safety upgrade that I see, though. I'm also going to be making sure that that laser turns off when this is opened. You know, I don't want that laser to work with this open.
Yeah, we didn't see any sort of.
I didn't see any kind of safety switch. This is going to be used to make robot parts mostly. I want our students to be able to design their own robots or their own whatever. You know, we don't just do robots. You know, you make your thing.
All right, so that was all the fun stuff. Unpacking it. I hope you guys learned something. If you're planning on buying one of these sort of generic laser cutters that were made in China, you know, we hope you learned something from here. You know, if you got any questions about this sort of thing, you can throw a comment down below. We'll see if we can help you out. We still have to sort of set it up, and you know, we haven't even used it yet, so we're not sure how any of that works. But you got to see everything that was in the box. Now comes the fun part, is to move it into another room and put it where it's going to be living for the duration.
For this time here.
Yeah. So.
And really, even before we do that, I want to go and you know, clean everything out.
Yeah.
Do it because with it out here, I can get all the way around it.
For those people who might have just ordered one or about to order one, listen to Joe. You definitely want to. Right now, we're kind of in this open space right now in his office, and it's going to be going into a back room where it's a little more narrow and things like that. So right now, we have a lot of room. So like Joe said, you definitely want to have a lot of room so you can clean it out. You saw all those little particles that were inside and stuff you want to clean up. So definitely do that first before you get into its final place, if it's going to be sort of like limited opening space for these panels and that sort of thing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this cleaned out and get it put back in the room. So thank you for joining us on this unboxing. We hope you learned something, and thank you, Joe, for letting us come by and film this. It was cool to. I've never seen a laser cutter in person before, so
neither did I.
Yeah. So can't wait to come back and start filming again when we start cutting some stuff. So we'll see if we can be here for the first cut. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm gonna make an event of it.
Yeah. So cool. All right, thank you for watching this Expedition STEM. I'm here with Joe from RoboDojo. Check his website out. We'll link it below. And thank you for stopping by.